by Paul Tata, your local shelter insurance agent in Ottawa. Call 242-4682 or stop by the office, 409 South Main. Shelter Insurance, we're your shield, we're your shelter. If the fire department has to answer a call that's located in a cul-de-sac, it has to have enough room to turn its fire trucks around, and that's the issue at the heart of a dispute of sorts between the Ottawa Fire Department and the Community Development Department. The fire department now has bigger trucks and wants new cul-de-sacs to be 96 feet, while Community Development appears willing to settle for 80 feet, up from the current 70 feet. During the Ottawa Planning Commission study session, Commission member Stephen Bradley and others debated a possible compromise.
So we've got to find some kind of medium, and that's why I say if we split the difference between 96 and 80 and say 88, it's not as much as you guys want it, and it's not as little as the developers want. Because
well, developers would rather it stay as it is, I'm sure.
Right, but
so here's the alternative to that.
I'm sympathetic to you.
Right, that's the alternative.
I would love to do away with cul-de-sacs.
Everyone agrees that ending cul-de-sacs is not realistic. The Planning Commission tabled the matter until its next meeting. A push to amend the Kansas Constitution language on abortion took a major step forward recently. Kansas News Service Steve Olinghouse has more.
Senate Republicans have passed a proposed anti-abortion amendment to the Kansas Constitution. The vote came even as abortion rights advocates tried to undercut potential support by arguing that it would lead to a ban on most abortions, likening it to a measure being pursued in Tennessee. The Kansas proposal is aimed at overturning a state Supreme Court decision last year protecting abortion rights.
Governor Laura Kelly says such a bill would push Kansas back into the dark ages and called the measure a political attack on women's rights that would hurt the state's business climate. Republican senators say an amendment would put the power back into the hands of lawmakers. If the proposed amendment is approved by the House, it will appear as a question on the August primary ballot. The exclusive KOFO Weather Center forecast for tonight, a chance of flurries after 3 a.m. We'll have increasing clouds, the low down to 24. Tomorrow, a chance of flurries before 7 a.m. It'll be overcast early on, then gradually becoming sunny with a high near 40. We're just moments away from the Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show. That's coming up next. I'm Don Elliott, KOFO News.
Stay tuned for the following special presentation from KOFO 1220 and 103.7 FM. KOFO, your sports source for East Central Kansas, welcomes you to this edition of Hoop Talk, live from the KOFO studios at Pizza Time in downtown Ottawa. Hoop Talk is our weekly chat with Ottawa University head basketball coaches Aaron Siebenthal and Bruce Tate, and it's brought to you by Pizza Time, Ottawa University, and State Farm agent Keith King. You're invited to join us during the show for food and drink specials and your chance to win a free large pizza from Pizza Time. Now, let's join your host for KOFO's Hoop Talk, Bob Johnson.
Well, hello. Welcome in to the Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show here on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO. Your weekly dose of talking with the head coaches of Ottawa University Braves basketball, as we will talk for the next hour about the men's and women's programs, and a lot to get to, as we always do. We start out with the man, the myth, the legend, head coach of the men's basketball program, Aaron Siebenthal. Coach, welcome in.
Thanks a lot, Bob. Appreciate it.
Braves have won 4 out of their last 6, but last night unfortunately came up short, and the eye that takes a look at it, it looks like that the offense had some issues with, especially from behind the three-point arc. But what was it? What if people who just look at the stats, what would they be missing from last night?
We didn't play with any energy. We were flat. We were disinterested. We were not focused on what we were trying to accomplish. And people are going to look at us scoring 55 points and a team that's averaging almost 90 a game and say the offense was the problem. But our energy was just flat out pathetic. And so that affected us on the defensive end. We didn't follow our scouting report at all. They didn't do one thing that we didn't tell them they were going to do on the scouting report. And we did not guard anything the way we were supposed to guard it at the beginning of the game, and we let our bad defense affect our offense, and just kind of snowballed from there. And it was, you're going to have nights you don't have your best, and maybe you're not making shots you normally make, but you got to find a way to tough those games out and affect those games with energy and with hustle plays, and we just got beaten all facets of the game.
And it seems to be in the losses here in the second half of the season, energy has seemed to be an issue at times. And as you mentioned, you have those nights here and there. It's not like it's a switch that can be flipped on or off. So as a coach, how do you guys go to get your players refocused?
Just got to keep reminding them that doesn't matter what we're doing and what the X's and O's are. None of that matters unless we're playing really hard and playing together. And you just got to keep reminding them of that, and you just got to keep harping on that. And that's why it's a tough game. It's a tough season. That's really, really long, and it's natural to maybe not have your best every single night. But if you want to win a championship, you got to find a way to win games when you don't have your best.
It was good to see Daryl Bowie back out and picking up some nice minutes and some points in action last night. One of the two Braves players in double figures, him and Ryan Haskins. Daryl had been struggling a little bit. Was it just something that maybe the conference was starting to pick up on him and he needed to kind of make some adjustments himself?
I mean, the guy scores 46 points in a game. People are going to notice. So he draws a lot of attention, and he's got to understand that sometimes the best offense for us is for him to draw 2 or 3 guys and throw it to the open guy. And so we're continuing to work on that with him as far as when to pick and choose times for him to go and try and score, and when it's more appropriate for him to be more of a distributor, and continuing to harp to him and preach to him that if he'll get other guys going and other guys make shots, it really spreads the floor for him. And he's impossible to guard one-on-one, and so if we can get other guys going, then he can get going one-on-one, and he's going to score. So.
And of course, the first half, only down by 6 at the half, but then Avila in the second half really stretched it out at times. So you guys were able to get in front early on in that second half, but then it just kind of seemed maybe fall apart's too harsh of a word at that point in time, but just weren't able to keep that momentum going.
Yeah, we were trying to speed the game up and get more possessions. So once they retook the lead, we felt like they were going to milk the clock, and so we went to some pressing and trapping stuff, and we're not great at that. We haven't had to use it a lot, but we felt like we needed to get the pace of the game going in our favor. They don't play a lot of guys, and so a faster paced game was in our favor. So we tried to pick up the pace, and they did a good job of handling our pressure and converting on the other end. So I don't think fall apart's too harsh of a word. We were really bad last night, and you know, that's a reflection on me, and we'll do better, and I think we'll be more focused, ready to come out Saturday night in Hillsboro.
What was the attitude in the locker room after the game last night with the players?
Oh, I mean, disappointment for sure. I mean, you know, these guys understand what's at stake and what we're playing for, and so they know every game is a big game, and you know, Avila's a good team. You know, their record isn't indicative of, I mean, they got the leading scorer in the conference. They got some other guys that can fill it up. They had their only big man really come back from injury and play against us, and so you know, they beat a Division II team this year. They're, you know, everybody in our league is capable of beating people, and so if you don't respect your opponent and show up ready to play, then you're going to get your tail kicked, and that's exactly what happened.
And of course, with the loss last night, unfortunately, that really tightens the standings up a bit. Of course, Bethel a game back, but you've got Oklahoma Wesleyan now at 14-5. So when it comes down to it, these remaining games are going to be big because tiebreaker is going to be involved with those if it stays tight at the top.
Yeah, we just got to worry about the next game and get back to playing the way that we've been playing and way we're capable of, and playing together and getting our assist numbers back up and doing those kind of things and having great energy. That's what we need to get back to. I mean, if we worry about the standings and what other teams are doing in other games, and we're looking at scoreboards, then we're missing the boat, because we need to be focused on us and our opponent the next game. And it sounds cliche, but that's the way you have to do it, or you start worrying about too many things you have no control over.
And of course, with that being said, got some big games coming up, and we'll touch a little bit about the game on Saturday with Tabor in Hillsboro, but York will be coming to town, have to go back out to Sterling, and then finish up with Kansas Wesleyan and McPherson. So, as you mentioned, you just take one game at a time, but those final 5 opponents right there are no easy pickings.
No, there's not. I mean, we're going to Hillsboro on Saturday, You know, they're last place in their league, and they've won, I think, 2 out of their last 3. They've been playing well. I mean, they just beat the team that beat us by 20, and they beat them by 15 last weekend. So, I mean, they're playing well, and they've got one of the best players in the league, and Tyler's in. So, there's no easy nights, and like, it's just you gotta show up and play, and you gotta be ready to play. And you gotta be excited to play basketball. That's kind of I think the biggest disappointment for me last night is I just didn't seem like our guys even wanted to be there at some point. You got to be excited to play college basketball, and we got a bunch of seniors on this team who have only got 5 games left, and I think they're maybe taking a little bit for granted. So I think we got the message across today in practice, and we'll watch film tomorrow and kind of hopefully get the ship righted and play better on Saturday.
We'll take our first break of the night right here. We'll touch on the Tabor game coming up on Saturday. We might talk a little bit more about, especially with the seniors, trying to get that energy up and things like that. We might touch on that a little bit more, but we'll take our first break of the night right here. You're listening to the Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show here on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO and KOFO.com.
It's never too late to become who you're supposed to be. However, sometimes you may need a little help. Ottawa University can get you there. Their faculty and staff are dedicated to preparing graduates for a lifetime of significance. With dozens of degree programs, including accounting, engineering, human services, and marketing, as well as graduate degrees in business administration and education, Ottawa University will prepare you for whatever or whoever you want to be. Don't wait. Get started today. Find out more by visiting online at ottawa.edu.
Pizza Time at 208 South Main in historic downtown Ottawa is very proud to be a locally owned and operated part of the community. From supporting our schools and charities to backing our sports teams, Pizza Time has been serving the area in more than just pizza since 1985. Dine in, carry out, or free delivery. Remember, Pizza Time is here to continue to serve up the area's favorite pizza. Look us up and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or just call us at 242-TIME. You know what time it is? It's always Pizza Time.
It's late at night. You've been visiting family and you're on your way home. You didn't see the deer in front of you until it was too late. Everyone is safe. Your vehicle did its job and protected you. Now you get to find out if your auto insurance does the same. It will, because you have State Farm Auto Insurance through local agent Keith King in Ottawa.
I'm State Farm Insurance Agent Keith King. Let's work together to be sure your vehicle has the coverage you need. Call and schedule an appointment today at 242-9435. Stop by my office at 111 South Main in Ottawa, or visit online at keithking.net.
When you have trouble sleeping, it's tough. When kids have trouble sleeping,
Mom, I can't sleep. Dad, just one more story?
For nights like this, try Vicks Pure Z's Kids. Our great tasting gummies are specially formulated for kids with a unique blend of botanicals and a low dose of melatonin to support their natural sleep cycle. Best of all, they're drug-free and non-habit forming. Help your child fall asleep naturally with Pure Z's Kids Gummies. Consult with a doctor before use. For ages 4 and up.
At Simple Mobile, you get the no contract advantage. Unlimited talk and text plus 5 gigabytes of high-speed data for $30 a month. Just $30 a month on a 5G-ready network and no contract. That's our best deal ever. Learn more at simplemobile.com. Simple Mobile. Out with the old, in with the simple.
Limited time offer ends 4/30/20. Standard high-speed data allotment on all redemptions thereafter. 5G capable device and SIM required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. 1 month equals 30 days. Plus taxes and fees. See terms and conditions at simplemobile.com.
Back here live at Pizza Time. We'll be here till the top of the hour as we talk Ottawa University Braves basketball. Of course, you can come down and have some wonderful pizza, watch some sports on television. Lots of cool things going on down here, especially in downtown Ottawa. Of course, we're sitting here on the stage in the window, so you can come and make faces at Coach Siebenthal, and he'll make them right back at you. So that's part of the fun here, the Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show. Coach, you talked a little bit about getting, the seniors and wanting to see them maybe pick up a little bit more, maybe help to pick up the younger kids a little bit more as we head into the final games of the season. How much do you sit down with the seniors and maybe see if try to have them reach out to the younger players, to the underclassmen, and try to be leaders, or does the team handle that on their own, to kind of their own leadership and kind of decide, filter things out on their own?
No, I mean, we have team captains that the guys picked, and 3 of those 4 are seniors, but You know, I really believe leadership's got to be kind of developed organically, and you know, I'll say stuff to seniors once in a while, but you know, it's not on our seniors to be the energy keepers. It's on our whole team. It's in our program. I mean, that's our whole motto is energy, effort, enthusiasm, and those are things that we got to try and bring every single day. And whether it's practice game, whether it's in the weight room, individual workouts, you got to try and do all those things with great energy, effort, and enthusiasm. And it's human nature to not be able to do those things for, you know, almost 6 months straight. But if you want to win a championship, then you need to figure out a way to make that happen more times than not.
Well, and when you take a look, I mean, this whole schedule set up with the KCAC, I mean, you have all your preseason or non-conference games, and then you're playing everybody twice, and it's a bit of a grind on them. So as you hit these final parts of the schedule, you can kind of understand how maybe the energy might be down. But as you mentioned, that is something that they have to fight through if they want to be a champion.
Yeah, you know, there's when you're in first place though, and you're playing a team that's in 10th place, 11th place. I mean, why are they playing harder than us? You know, that's not how we got to this point, and that's the frustrating thing. So don't want to harp on it too much more. I mean, I think, like I said, I think we got a point across with the guys. They were disappointed in their own efforts, and you know, they took it internally as well, and they know what we need to fix and how we need to fix it. So look for them to bounce back on Saturday.
And of course, that game on Saturday in Hillsboro. You mentioned Tabor coming off of a couple of victories here recently, that and a big one at that, with beating Avila. And then let's see, who was the other one? I'm drawing a blank right now. I had it right in front of me and lost it. But nevertheless, you got a team that's kind of getting a little momentum, a little confidence. So this is going to be a nice test for the guys come Saturday night.
Yeah, it's another good opportunity for us to continue to improve and get better, and we want to be, you know, playing our best basketball at the end of the year, and you know, we need to get trending in that direction. And lucky for us, we've got 5 attempts at that before the conference tournament, and you know, if we win out, we'll get a ring. I mean, that's kind of where we're at, and but to do that, you got to win the next one. So that's kind of where we're focused.
Can you believe it's been almost 2 months since that first game at Wilson Fieldhouse against Tabor back on December 11th? 12-point win for Ottawa, but things are obviously a little bit different in the last 2 months. So what about Tabor is different for this go-round?
I think they're just playing better. I think they've got, you know, they're playing a few different guys, some different minutes and different positions, but you know, the thing with Tabor is they got Tyler Zinn, and he's really one of the best players in the league. He's tough to guard. I think he's leading the league in assists too, and he's definitely top 2 or 3 in scoring. I think he's been Player of the Week 3 times. So he's a nice player. He's a one-year guy. So you know, it's kind of hard for those guys to kind of get going sometimes. But he's a heck of a player, and he makes everyone else around him better. And so you got to really try and slow him down as a team, and then not let anyone else go off. And so I think that's kind of what everybody, when they play Tabor, they circle Zinn in there, and that's who you got to try and shut down.
Will there be anything different that you'll want to accomplish in this game on Saturday than maybe from the first one?
I think we'll guard him a little differently coming off ball screens. We're going to try and limit his catches and just try and make it really tough for him to get in the mix and get involved and see if we can't make them, you know, throw it around the gym a little bit rather than just let him be comfortable and do what he wants coming off ball screens. So we'll trap him a little bit. We'll face guard him and try not to let him catch it, and maybe try and get him a little frustrated.
Will you kind of mix and match who's going to guard him, or do you plan on sticking one player on him and having him the entire time?
No, we're going to mix it up. I think that's, you know, throw fresh bodies at him and you know, really trying to wear him down that way. I think that's kind of our plan.
Of course, playing down in Hillsboro is always it's not that far of a trip, but that gym is it can be a raucous place, especially if the students are into it. And you know, of course, with the record being what it is for Tabor, maybe it's not going to be that big of a crowd. But so again, feeding off the crowd one way or the other may not be something that'll be done. So energy will be key on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, we got to go into every game home or away and not expect to get energy from anybody else. We got to make our own energy, and that's what we got to do, and we got to focus on, and that starts with just communicating and talking and being engaged in the game plan and knowing what we're doing, and the bench being into it, and guys picking each other up and being positive, and that's really where our energy starts. So,
how key is it going to be for the Braves to get out to a quick open against the Tabor team? And this is obviously, I'm not a coach, I'm just a radio fatty, so I mean, there's not a lot that I can go with, but I would say with a team like Tabor that's had their struggles, if you guys can get out early and get a little bit of an advantage and maybe kind of put them away quickly, this would bode well for the Braves.
No, I think for us, we need to get out to a fast start, and that's, again, that doesn't mean scoring a whole bunch necessarily. It means that we're locked in, doing what we're supposed to do defensively, being organized and taking great shots on offense. So, I think a start is important in every game. Not necessarily, Tabor's not going to, they're not going to quit or go away or anything. I mean, they've got too much pride. It's going to be their senior night. They're going to be into it. So the start is for us, and to get a little bit maybe confidence back and just understand that energy is actually translating into some good stuff for us. That's the most important thing.
And then you follow up with York coming to Wilson Fieldhouse on the 12th, and as it begins to wind down, it's not that far away from the conference tournament. So as you mentioned, season's starting to wind down. The seniors starting to think about playing some of their final regular season basketball. Do you sense that it's starting to hit maybe some of your seniors that their time's starting to wind down?
Oh, I don't think so. I think that this group's got bigger plans than just finishing out the regular season. I think they've got sights on making a good run in the conference tournament, and then hopefully taking care of business and hopefully getting to the national tournament and seeing if we can't make some noise there. So I think for them, they're still planning on playing hopefully a lot more than 5 games, but they understand how important these next 5 are.
What are your hidden keys for Saturday's game?
We don't have any hidden keys. We got to do, the same things we always got to do. We got to play really hard on defense. Got to rebound the ball, and then we got to run and share the ball. That's our formula. Be good on defense, make them uncomfortable, keep them out of the middle, play, try and rebound, and then let's run and let's try and beat them up and down the floor and take great shots and make shots. So no hidden keys. There's not any secret formula. It's just we got to play hard. We got to play together more and do more team things than we did last night.
And of course, you mentioned you don't keep an eye on the standings that much until after you're done playing. When trying to get that, I would assume that for you, you want to get both the conference and the regular season. But if you guys can get the regular season championship and get that ticket punched early, I'm sure you guys would like that a little bit more than having to go through the tournament.
Oh, for sure. That's our goal has not been to win the conference tournament. Our goal is to win the regular season, and that's our goal every single year. So again, win 5 games and we're going to win the conference. I firmly believe that, but as important as that is that we're playing our best basketball at the right time, and we got to make sure those two things kind of collide and happen at the same time. So we definitely have a goal that we're striving for, but we know it's going to take all 5 of these wins, and so you got to win the next one if you want to win. If you want to win 5, you got to win number 1. So.
And of course, Ottawa was able to hang on to that number 7 ranking in the latest poll that just came out yesterday. So, and Casey and I were talking about that on Saturday, and I kind of figured that was probably right around that, maybe no less than 10. I know that rankings don't matter a hill of beans and everything, but did you give any thought to where you thought you guys would be when this new ranking came out?
No, I figured we'd be pretty close to where we were. I thought we'd stay in the top 10. So, we lost a couple, but so did most of the rest of the country. So we kind of kept pace. And if, at the time the polls took place, we were still in first place by a game. So, if you're the number 1 team in a conference of 13 teams, you deserve to be in the top 10. So. It's nice to have that stuff for recruiting, and it should give our guys confidence. But again, all rankings are a measure of what's already taken place, and we need to worry about what's going to take place.
And real quick, how is recruiting going for you guys? And as you start you're always working towards the next year as a coaching staff to replenish the talent pool. How are things going?
No, it's going pretty well. We've got a few local high school commitments, and got a good list of transfers as well that we're talking to at the junior college ranks. So, for us, it's more of a springtime that we're going to get our guys signed and committed and everything. So we've got a good list. We feel good about it. But while we're staying in communication with our recruits for sure, and that's something that's always ongoing, we are extremely focused on the current team and the great season we've got going and trying to finish it off the right way.
When it comes to recruiting, do you have a mindset of, I want X amount of high schoolers and X amount of JUCO transfers, or is it, hey, I'm just going to take the best available and whoever comes? How does that work for you?
No, we want to try and have a good mix between transfers and high school guys, and that's important to us. I think that's, you want kind of your core guys that you can build with and trust to be high school guys, and then you want to fill in with JUCO guys. We've been probably a little more JUCO heavy than I would have liked to have been the last couple of years. But I think that's just a matter of trying to be better, faster. But we've had good high school guys come up. I mean, obviously Jackson Mallory and Mason McDowell are really good high school guys for us, and we've got a really good list of high school guys that I think we'll get some of these guys, and I think they'll play as freshmen for us next year. So excited about that. But you always want to have a mix. I mean, you can't turn over your whole roster every 2 years, or you're gonna just wear yourself out trying to do that every single year. So hopefully a good mix, and I think our list is kind of representative of that mix.
And Coach, good luck with the game on Saturday. We'll talk to you again next week as we start to wind it down here.
Yep, appreciate it, Bob.
That is head coach Aaron Siebenthal joining us here on the Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show. And we will have the games with Tabor, 5 o'clock for the women. The men play at 7, and it'll be Casey Weeder with the Fusion Alley Primetime Grill pregame show at about 4:45-ish. And then, again, the women tipping at 5. Men will follow at 7 here on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO and KOFO.com. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk women's basketball with Braves head coach Bruce Tate as they picked up a nice win last night on the road at Avila. So we'll talk a little bit about that when we return. You're listening to the Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO and KOFO.com.
Let's face it, auto insurance can be confusing. Do you know your comprehensive from your collision, your no-fault from liability, your premium from your deductible? After an accident is no time to find out that your definition of full coverage is actually different from what your policy says. Let local State Farm Insurance Agent Keith King explain auto insurance in terms you can understand.
I'm State Farm Insurance Agent Keith King. Let's work together to be sure your vehicle has the coverage you need. Call and schedule an appointment today at 242-9435. Stop by my office at 111 South Main in Ottawa, or visit online at keithking.net.
Pizza Time at 208 South Main in historic downtown Ottawa is very proud to be a locally owned and operated part of the community. From supporting our schools and charities to backing our sports teams, Pizza Time has been serving the area in more than just pizza since 1985. Dine in, carry out, or free delivery. Remember, Pizza Time is here to continue to serve up the area's favorite pizza. Look us up and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or just call us at 242-TIME. You know what time it is? It's always Pizza Time.
It's never too late to become who you're supposed to be. However, sometimes you may need a little help. Ottawa University can get you there. Their faculty and staff are dedicated to preparing graduates for a lifetime of significance. With dozens of degree programs, including accounting, engineering, human services, and marketing, as well as graduate degrees in business administration and education, Ottawa University will prepare you for whatever or whoever you want to be. Don't wait. Get started today. Find out more by visiting online at ottawa.edu.
When you have trouble sleeping, it's tough. When kids have trouble sleeping,
Mom, I can't sleep. Dad, just one more story?
for nights like this, try Vicks Pure Z's Kids. Our great tasting gummies are specially formulated for kids with a unique blend of botanicals and a low dose of melatonin to support their natural sleep cycle. Best of all, they're drug-free and non-habit forming. Help your child fall asleep naturally with Pure Z's Kids Gummies. Consult with a doctor before use. For ages 4 and up.
Back here at Pizza Time in downtown Ottawa. It's the Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show. It's East Central Kansas's favorite college and coaches show, as we bring you everything you need and want to know about Ottawa University Braves basketball. And as we just finished up talking the men's game, we just finished talking with Coach Siebenthal. It's time now to talk women's hoops with Braves head coach Bruce Tate. Bruce, welcome in.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. First of all, thank you for the gift. I appreciate that. When you told me you had something for me on Saturday, I was thinking, oh, I must have said or done something. I'm in trouble now. But thank you very much. I appreciate the kindness there. Now I kind of feel almost official.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've clocked a lot of hours, on the air and covering football and basketball all these years, and I thought it would be special for you to have something this year from us, and so you can sport your OU gear when you do our events. So.
I know it's pretty stylish. It makes a fat guy look good.
Hey, I'm all about gear, man. So hey, I'm all about gear. I love making people look good. So
if I was part of the recruiting process, or if you were recruiting me, I would be announcing my commitment as of right now. Hopefully, no violations. So
exactly.
Well, the ladies. The offense. What happened last night, Coach? I was telling you, I was in and out on listening to the game, and then I heard 93 points, and not only just that, but to beat Avila by 14 and still have one of their players score 40. So you really can't even make that up. What an incredible night for the ladies last night.
Yeah, absolutely. We just got off to a really, really good start. We had a great, game plan offensively and defensively. And, I really, for our keys for this game, I really didn't focus on, a lot of basketball stuff. I wanted our girls to go in this game, this sticking together and being focused on both ends of the floor. I talked about, being aggressive, someone go out there and make a play. I didn't say, this certain person had to make a play. I said someone go out there and make a play. And then I just told them to believe, and, when the doubt creeps in our mind, our mental toughness has struggled in the last two ball games. And I thought they came out and played with a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of energy.
And of course, last night it seemed like it was a total team effort for the women. As you take a look. Mariah had 16, Maddie with 15, Avery with 15 off the bench, Jennifer Anthony with 11 off the bench, Kelsey Hendricks had 11, and then you had Liz Vaughn, who almost got in the double figures. And last night, she almost had a double-double. And so. 44% from the floor, almost 48% from behind the three-point arc. And then you got to the line 44 times and hit 38 of those. I mean, that's something we've talked about a lot this season. If the ladies can get to the line somewhere between 17 to 20 times, if not more, they're going to come away with a win. Well, 44 times, man, you get 38 points just like that from the free throw line. That's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Our free throw percentage is starting to go the right direction. It's always our goal to get there at least 30 times within a game. And, they had a foul there towards the end, so probably about 10 of those were forced fouls. But we made them. That was the difference there down the stretch. We had a stretch in the end of the third quarter that got really, really messy. Where they started pressing and we started turning the basketball over, and they scored 6 straight points, but we kept our composure. So it was good for us to respond and be able to regain, stretch out that lead a little bit more throughout that fourth quarter.
I think another impressive performance for the ladies last night was rebounding. out-rebounded Avila by 22, 45 to 23. And if you break it down even further, it was 31-15 advantage defensively, but then 14-8 offensively. And for the Lady Braves, who have been outsized a lot, to be able to do that on the boards last night, that's amazing.
Yeah, and Avila's huge. I mean, they're a big team. You know, Faulkner at the point guard position is about 5'5" on a good day for her, but she's a dynamic player. But after that, they're 5'10" and bigger. So, you know, we've got a Caitlin at 5'5", 5'4", guarding a 6-foot player, you know, baseline out of bounds. So it was a lot of mind over matter, you know, when it came to the defensive end. But that's the main stat that I talked about. That's the first stat I talked about going into the locker room, especially on the offensive side, you know, getting those hustle points. But I was very proud of them on the defensive end because just their capability, their ability to score the basketball. You give a scoring team second chance points, then they're able to really stretch things out.
And then you take a look at, and just with the eye test, I mean, you beat a top 4 team in the conference last night. You know, you've got wins over Oklahoma Wesleyan now, and they're in the playoffs. They're in the tournament. So, as I've been saying over the last few weeks, I don't know that I want to face Ottawa right now because of just the momentum that has been gained, and you're seeing this team just grow and grow and grow. In one game out now of getting into the tournament with 5 left. So, I mean, it's a very doable thing. I just would not want to face this team right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, at the start of this second half, you know, we're one of the hottest teams, and you know, the last 2 losses were very, very tough. We felt that we gave those games away, not to take credit from the other teams because they did exactly what they needed to do to win those games, but man, we just didn't play well. And we've been waiting for a night for all cylinders to click, and so we see what this team is very capable of. You know, with their performance last night, and man, if we could bottle that up and get going, that would be huge.
What was it like in the locker room after the game last night? What were the ladies feeling? What was going through their mind?
They felt good. I mean, they're not a bunch that is like jumping with joy and dancing. That's just not this group. I mean, you know, I do the little jump body bump with Mariah every time we get a win, and we go from there. So, but no, they were extremely happy. We were definitely surprised about the rebounding margin. Since we all are a smaller team and we do struggle at times, but Liz did a great job defensively grabbing those 12, and that was huge for us on that defensive end, but that's I just was really impressed with that stat, and I just hammer that home, you know, basically in the locker room.
Well, and that is such an impressive stat to talk about. I mean. And for the great thing is that they're just going out there playing. They're not, I don't want to say paying attention, maybe that's not the right word, but they're not worried about that stuff.
No, they're not worried about a lot of things, to be honest with you. They just play basketball. So, but no, they were, like I said, really pleased with that. And you know, our defensive, you know, efforts was there. We gave up a lot of points, but we were able to score a lot of points, so there's more possessions. But, you know, Bund going for 40, she's one of the top, if not the top scorer in this league. And you know, Faulkner got in foul trouble. They were playing without Morgan, one of their other scorers. She did what the best player had to do on the floor, and that was score 40 points. And I'm happy with just one of their scorers scoring that much, and I told the girls that. It's like we just can't let the other 2 or 3 go, and we were able to do a good job of maintaining, you know, those other scorers.
So 5-5 in your last 10. That's starting from when the second half of the season started, and with had the stretch of 3 in a row with over McPherson and Oklahoma Wesleyan and Southwestern, and I mean, those are teams that you need to get victories on to get in to help you along the way. Then you take a look at again with the win over St. Mary, which I know that the ladies wanted really bad and was able to. You got Avila, who's in the top 4. So confidence, are the ladies feeling it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if if we would end things right now, the Bethel and Friends loss would hurt the most. Losing there at Bethel and losing Friends at home when we had that game, and it just got, a little out of hand there towards the end. So hopefully those 2 games don't come back to bite us, and we don't know what the future holds, but we're just trying to take it one game at a time, and we know that we control our own destiny, and we can't wait on somebody to help us out, because Southwestern got a good win last night, and Matt got a good win last night, so they're climbing up, and we're still trying to climb up and catch them.
We're going to take our final break of the night here. We're going to talk about Saturday night's game on the road in Tabor, and we'll talk a little bit about that as the season starts to wind down here, not too far away from the conference tournament. As a matter of fact, for the women, their first round game is on the 25th, so just about 3 weeks away, but still plenty of action as they're looking to get into that tournament. We'll talk about it when we return. You're listening to the Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO.
It's never too late to become who you're supposed to be. However, sometimes you may need a little help. Ottawa University can get you there. Their faculty and staff are dedicated to preparing graduates for a lifetime of significance. With dozens of degree programs, including accounting, engineering, human services, and marketing, as well as graduate degrees in business administration and education, Ottawa University will prepare you for whatever or whoever you want to be. Don't wait. Get started today. Find out more by visiting online at ottawa.edu.
Pizza Time at 208 South Main in historic downtown Ottawa is very proud to be a locally owned and operated part of the community. From supporting our schools and charities to backing our sports teams, Pizza Time has been serving the area in more than just pizza since 1985. Dine in, carry out, or free delivery. Remember, Pizza Time is here to continue to serve up the area's favorite pizza. Look us up and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or just call us at 242-TIME. You know what time it is? It's always Pizza Time.
It's late at night. You'd been visiting family and you're on your way home. You didn't see the deer in front of you until it was too late. Everyone is safe. Your vehicle did its job and protected you. Now you get to find out if your auto insurance does the same. It will, because you have State Farm Auto Insurance through local agent Keith King in Ottawa.
I'm State Farm Insurance Agent Keith King. Let's work together to be sure your vehicle has the coverage you need. Call and schedule an appointment today at 242-9435. Stop by my office at 111 South Main in Ottawa, or visit online at keithking.net.
At Simple Mobile, you get the no contract advantage. Unlimited talk and text plus 5 gigabytes of high-speed data for $30 a month. Just $30 a month on a 5G-ready network and no contract. That's our best deal ever. Learn more at simplemobile.com. Simple Mobile. Out with the old, in with the simple.
Limited time offer ends 4/30/20. Standard high-speed data allotment on all redemptions thereafter. 5G capable device and SIM required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. 1 month equals 30 days. Plus taxes and fees. See terms and conditions at simplemobile.com.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
Come on, one more rep. You got this. 10. There it is. Nice work, man. You're a beast.
Thanks, man. I feel better than I have in years. And I got to tell you, taking Nugenix makes a huge difference for me.
Nugenix? That's the testosterone booster with TV ads with Frank Thomas. The big hurt, right?
Oh, yeah. This is a legit product. The key ingredient is Testofen, which helps boost free testosterone levels and increase lean muscle mass.
Well, it's clearly working for you. Hey, are they still giving out complimentary bottles
bottles for people to try for themselves? Yeah, Nugenix is a great way to increase lean muscle and feel stronger with more energy and endurance.
Man, I need to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix.
No problem. You just got to send them a text. Text TAP to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Nugenix samples are not available in stores, so text TAP to 42424 right now. Text TAP to 42424. That's TAP to 42424.
Final segment for the Pizza Time Hoop Talk show here this week. As we're winding down the season, not too many more to go here for the Pizza Time Hoop Talk show. So always be sure to come down and visit us every Thursday night, unless there are games on the Thursday night. But I think we're pretty much done with that now for the rest of the season, if I'm looking at everything correctly.
Yeah. Yep, Wednesdays, Saturdays.
So plenty of time for you to come down and have pizza, watch college basketball, listen to college basketball, listen to coaches talk about college basketball, all kinds of stuff. So join us out here as we wind her up here for this season. But ladies have a big game on Saturday against Tabor, and Tabor number 5 in the conference right now, but an opportunity again to kind of chip away and get closer to the goal of just getting into that conference tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Really excited, about the game on Saturday. Just the tradition between the two programs when we meet up have been drag out, dog fights between the two. We know each other really, really well. Sean and I has grown up as assistants in this league and met each other out on the recruiting trail. So yeah, we're really looking forward to the matchup. And they stole one from us in Wilson Fieldhouse. So we feel that if we play up to our potential and we're playing a lot better than the first time around, I think we have a really, really good shot at competing at a high level there.
Well, only a 3-point differential in that first game back on December 11th, and it always seems like no matter where either team is in the standings, it is, as you said, just a fight between both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. We're a little different than past teams, just because Sean and I have been two coaches in the league that has lived and died by man-to-man defense. Like, you knew if you're going to play Tabor at Ottawa, we're just going to lock you up and do the best that we can. Well, at the beginning of the season, he's like, yeah, we're struggling, but I'm not going to change up anything I do, and I'm not going to go play a zone. And I'm like, look, man, I had to. I was like, I had to. If I didn't do that, I've been a terrible, terrible coach. So we're doing a little something different defensively. We did a good job of holding them under 60 the first time around, and we're doing a lot of things better in our zone, and we'll see if they have made any adjustments as well.
Well, and I think it's night and day different right now between Ottawa University at this point in the season than what it was back in December, and especially coming off. Of course, I guess you have to worry about, did they put all their offense into that game last night and not much for Saturday, but I don't think that's going to be the case. This team has really grown, especially here in the second half, and I think, to me, it's a lot different than what they were.
Yeah, absolutely. I just finished watching our last game, before coming down here, and I'm just laughing, at things that are happening defensively, and we only gave up 54, points, I think, and just at the start of the game, it was 6-5 Tabor, and I'm like, the 6 points that they have, they really shouldn't have based on what we're doing now. So we think we can disrupt some things for them offensively, but they're a really, really good defensive team. So if we score 93, then I don't even know what you can tell me. I would probably be laughing all the way home if that's the case, based on what they can do defensively. But our girls are playing well, and our confidence is pretty high offensively. We're just kind of settling in and finding each other's role, and I don't rely on one or two players when I call a play, and it's been good to see them grow.
I think, and this is just going to be me again, I think the key is going to be aggressive play by the ladies, force Tabor to either part like the Red Sea or foul you.
Yeah, and it's a team that doesn't foul. I mean, they do not foul. I mean, it's amazing. We've been two of the programs in this conference that's done a really, really good job of that. We've had some breakdowns in certain games, but yeah, they are very impressive when it comes to keeping teams off the free throw line, and so we're going to have to be super aggressive and try to take that advantage. If you can do that, that's going to be key. That means that we are playing at a very, very high level if we do that.
Well, I think if you could even get to the line half as many times as you did last night, I think that goes a long way to helping the women come away with a win.
I will take 20 free throws on Saturday for sure.
And that's all going to start with Mariah down low and working the way out. Just again, aggressive play, and Mariah has really come on here in the second half and has played very well. Liz Vaughn it's been fun to watch her grow and that, but it's good also now that you've got Avery Lumen back too.
Absolutely, yeah, it was great to have her on the court last night. Being in the hospital last week was really tough for her. Even going into the game, Tuesday night, I'm like, how do you feel? Is your energy back? Can you go out there and play? 15, 18, no more than 20 minutes there for us, and she was very, very efficient in those minutes that we had. Great to have her three-point shooting back. And like you said, Mariah on the inside played really, really good against Tabor the first time around. So they're going to bring double, potentially triple teams, and based on last game, who are you going to double, triple team off? So we've got some kids that have shot it well, and most of the time they double off with Kelsey's person, so she has to shoot the basketball. She did that last night, and hopefully she continues that road.
Well, and I think that right there is a lot. You say a lot there. If you can get it down low to Mariah, she gets hacked, or if she's able to find the open player, and if you can hit the shot, I think that opens so much up for this program, because I think if they continue to feel it, coming off in that momentum, it could be a long night for Tabor.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always different playing on the road. So, but hopefully we can get down there, get a good warm up in, and just be mentally prepared. Like I said, we had to get one of the top 4 teams, and I think that's take the monkey off the back a little bit, and we've knocked off the 6th place team, and now we're coming for number 5. So we get to see 2-1, and also well down the stretch. So it's not going to be easy, but I think the pressure's on them, and we can just go out there and play loose and just have some fun.
And I think that's a huge key right there. Is you're still trying to get into the tournament, the postseason tournament, but really the onus isn't on Ottawa. It's going to be on Tabor to continue to hold serve. I mean, they still have an opportunity to get into that top 4 and maybe host a home game. So there's a little bit of pressure on them that maybe isn't on Ottawa.
Yeah, absolutely. They were probably mad that they lost last night and that we won and beat Avila, and that was a little ground they could have gotten on Avila, and that's how it happens. And I wish Tabor would have beat Southwestern, so it goes 50-50 there. So it's just one of those situations where just take it one game at a time, and anything can happen here. And with those teams that as you get deeper into the season, depending on where they're at, you don't know where their focus is. I don't know. We don't know who's going to win the conference, based on today with 5 games left, and that's exciting. and we don't know who the 8 teams are going to be, come in a few weeks too as well.
I think it's one of the more competitively balanced years, and in the C, because I think when you take a look at where Ottawa started with the season, you come back for the second half, and now to be right there and challenging, that says a lot, one, for the competitiveness of this conference, but also it shows that anybody can be beaten on any day.
Absolutely, and for us growing in this league, you got to look at our top kids are young, so it's good to see them grow, and hopefully they can close this thing out.
Well, Coach, good luck with the game on Saturday, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yes.
Could be.
Okay. Well,
as long as I'm not recruiting, we should be here.
All right. And you'll be able to catch that game Saturday, 5 o'clock, 4:45 for the Fusion Alley Primetime Grill pregame show with Casey Weeder, and the women tip at 5, men at 7. And you're going to hear it here on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO and KOFO.com. It's going to do it for us this week from Pizza Time. We'll talk to you again a week from tonight for the next edition of the Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show.
Celebrating 70 years of information and entertainment in East Central Kansas. KOFO K279CS Ottawa, where keeping you informed comes first.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Juju Chang. Expletives not